Hi students, and welcome back to this IELTS speaking live class lesson. We are looking at visiting nature in the city. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful, very wet and rainy Victoria today here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are enjoying your weekend thus far. Welcome, Angel Fuang Golda. Good to have you as a member. Nice to see everybody. Study Vibes, Sarvar, Popo, AJ, Bashal, Bao, Gagandeep. Good to have so many of you here with me. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. GIELTShelp.com for general IELTS. These are the websites that power these live classes. They contain all of our materials, audio materials, practice exams, lesson videos, and the feature for interactive communication that we're going to use in this class to speak with students and practice speaking part 3. So if you like these live classes, if you're in these live classes regularly, definitely make the most. Join the premium version. This is aehelp.com. Click the big red button just above my head there to join the premium IELTS package. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. Welcome, Amra, our chat moderator. Good to have you in the class. Amra is here. Amra can answer questions for you if you've got them as well. So, Amra, nice to have you with us. For general IELTS, everybody, GIELTShelp.com, green background. Click that big red button there. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. You are good to go. All right, students. So use the code Genuine9. It's coming out of our recent video for a 10% discount on the websites. Get our apps. They're very popular. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Use Instagram, IELTS_AHelp, GIELTS Help. Those are also very popular. These days, people are just really signing up for Instagram. It's great to see. And if you have questions, send an email. Adrian at aehelp.com or admin at aehelp.com. All right, students, I have the schedule for this coming week. Classes will start back up on Thursday with speaking part 1 and then reading for members on Friday, listening parts 3 and 4 for subscribers on Friday. So subscribe, it's free. And then speaking part 2 and part 3 on Saturday. Check out new videos that are coming onto the channel all the time. Again, another good reason to subscribe so that you get these videos. Ayush, I see that your speaking is tomorrow. That's good. Good luck with the speaking tomorrow. Ayush, volunteer in the speaking today. It'll build you some confidence and get you a little bit of feedback and maybe some tips to improve your score. So Ayush, hang in there. I'm here to help, okay, with your speaking exam tomorrow. All right, so this is speaking part 3. And the goal here is speak and repeat. We will spend most of this class on practicing with our viewers, with our students. Okay, so 20 pip challenger. Tomorrow's your speaking. Lots of tips coming up for you in this class. The first tip is always to give an answer and an explanation. Always give an explanation following your answer. Okay, let's practice that. Here. Let's talk about visiting nature and cities. What is the most beautiful natural place that you have visited? Give me a nice full sentence for this one. I will give you a band 9 answer for this one. Show you what I mean by including those explanations. Okay. The sublime natural vista I have had the fortune of visiting is Mystic Beach, about a 2-hour drive and a 30-minute hike from my home. It's exceptional beauty is attributed to the 20-meter free falling waterfall that lands on the yellow sand right next to the Pacific Ocean. It is quite surreal. Okay. All right, so there's my answer, and that's actually true. One of my favorite places called Mystic Beach. That's up along the coast here of Vancouver Island where I live. And there's a waterfall that comes right onto the beach. You can stand under it. It's like a free shower after you get out of the salty water, and it's just absolutely breathtaking. So here's the question. Again, this is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. Waterfalls are amazing. When a waterfall is landing on a sandy beach, that's even more unique. The sublime natural vista I have had the fortune of visiting is Mystic Beach, about a 2-hour drive and a 30-minute hike from my home. Its exceptional beauty is attributed to the 20-meter free-falling waterfall that lands on the yellow sand right next to the Pacific Ocean. It is quite surreal. Okay. Free falling means that it doesn't touch the cliff. It actually flies. The water like flies over the cliff, which is really quite unique. Okay. All right. Golda has this answer for us. Golda, one of our newest members. Golda, thanks for joining again. That's great. Golda has this answer for us, and I encourage you to answer, everybody. Here we go. Golda says, the most mesmerizing nature I've ever visited is the Diamond Beach located in the Nusa Penida Island, right to the west of Bali, Indonesia. The water is crystal blue, the beach is pink, and if people are lucky enough, they can watch manta rays up from the hills. Wow. Sounds amazing. It's a beautiful answer, Golda. The most mesmerizing nature I've ever visited is Diamond Beach. Good name for it. Located in the Nusa Penida Island. Located... Yeah, okay, we'll take that. All right, very good. Unto. Let's see what Unto has. Unto says, that is a very interesting question. I don't think it is, so let's not use that expression here. I think it's a fairly common question people ask from each other. Last year, I went to Goa, which is a very famous beach in India. Isn't Goa a state in India? Is it just a beach, or is it both, a beach and a state? I thought the beach would have maybe like a different name, but maybe I'm wrong. I've never been. Last year I went to Goa, which is a very famous beach in India. It was a very impressive beach with many beautiful natural beauties. Woo! Okay, don't do this kind of speech onto like beautiful beauties. It doesn't make sense, and I'm not sure what the ... is. Okay, so we need a better answer here. Onto. So last year I went to Goa, which is a very famous beach in India, and arguably the most amazing place that I've seen in nature. Answer the question, Onto. Okay. The beach was very impressive with crystal blue water and lots of colorful fish and coral. Okay, so 20 Pip is asking, why are we using the word arguably? It's an expression in this case, Pip. So arguably in my world. So I could argue that it's the most beautiful place that I've seen. So if there are 5 or 6 different beautiful places that I've seen, arguably the most beautiful. So probably the most beautiful. It's a nice natural expression here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next question. Where is the nicest urban area that you have been to? Okay, give me a nice full sentence for this one. Where's the nicest urban area that you have been to? I would say that the most impressive city I've seen in my life is Venice, Italy. The centuries old buildings surrounded by the canals and the water transport is simply unique and architecturally incredible. It is truly a sight to behold, and it's no wonder that more than 10 million tourists visit this city each year. Okay. So where's the nicest urban area that you have been to? I would say that the most impressive city I've seen in my life is Venice, Italy. The centuries-old buildings surrounded by canals and water transport is simply unique and architecturally incredible. It is truly a sight to behold, and it's no wonder that more than 10 million tourists visit this city each year. Okay, so again, answer, explanation. All right. AJ says Lydia spoke like a virtual assistant. I would actually say, AJ, that Lydia spoke better than a virtual assistant because she was very original the way she spoke about her friend as well. Okay. Fuang says for this question, the nicest metropolitan as well as the cleanest nation that I have visited was Singapore, and I was so impressed by the waste management methods that they have been applying to their country. Okay, Singapore city or country, where are we going with this, Fuang? You have to be very accurate and clear with this. Okay. All right. All right, Sapu has this answer for us. Sapu says, I have visited a lot of places. Okay, I'm not interested in that. So let's not talk about that. We've all been to a lot of, or not all of us, but most of us have been to many places. So my heart was stolen by the inner district of Kathmandu, the city of temples. People there are very cooperative and give us detailed information about the city and give tourists, not us, I haven't been there yet, detailed information about the city. I found them and the surroundings very charismatic and inviting. It was easy for me to spend 5-6 hours just strolling around the breathtaking historical buildings. Okay, so Sapu, we just upgraded your answer from like a band 6 to a band 9. So my heart was stolen by the inner district of Kathmandu, the city of temples. People there are very cooperative and give tourists detailed information about the city. I found them and the surroundings very charismatic and inviting. It was easy for me to spend 5-6 hours just strolling around the breathtaking historical buildings. There you go. Okay. Upgraded. All right. Okay, everybody. So we've got lots and lots of questions for this speaking part 3 today. Make sure to speak and repeat. And I want to give you a chance for lots of speaking in today's class. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to get you volunteering. Students, I'll give you more tips, more strategies as we go along, as we learn from each other, learn from your peers. We often make similar kinds of mistakes. Especially in the IELTS speaking, but also in just communication and English in general. So let's do some volunteering. I am looking forward to hearing all you brave, beautiful souls present your thoughts about cities and natural places. Go to aehelp.com. Amra has just kindly put the instructions into the chat twice. So look at Amra. He's in the blue. He's a chat moderator. He's got the instructions for you. Go to the website firstly that you see there, and then follow Amra's instructions. So go to the website. When you're at the website, you can sign up for the premium version of the course. Again, these are the websites that power these live classes. You can click on that big red button. Bam, one click, one payment, lifetime access. IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. You're good with us. You go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, you have computer-based practice exams, full online course, books that you can print. Rohit just bought the premium package. That's great, Rohit. Okay. And then you've got the student partner speaking. All right. So you want to click on that student partner speaking. There, you can kind of see people buying. No, you still can't see the bottom there. Anyway, okay. Yeah, let's click on that student partner speaking. Accept the terms. You are in here, and you will see Cahyani, Golda, Wong, Kulwinder. Golda, did you figure out what's going on? Hopefully. Okay, you'll see me in here as well. You'll see me in here as Master. That'll be my handle. Send me a message. Okay, when you see Master, just send me a message. Say, I want to volunteer. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Let me put on my ears so I can hear you. And we'll get right into it. All right, Cahyani, our premium student and member. So studious, Cahyani. I love it. Cahyani, are you ready? I think, Cahyani, you're here for like every single class. That is so awesome. All right.
Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Cahyani. How are you?
Not that bad. How about you?
I'm pretty good. It sounds like you've got good and bad going on. What's the good?
The good it is I can enjoy your class.
Well, thank you. What's the bad?
To be honest, I'm a bit sick right now.
Oh, you're under the weather. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully, you know, you feel better soon. I know there's so many bugs going around. It's still like the post-COVID era issue, I think, that we're all dealing with, just trying to get our immune systems back to to the same strength that we had before. But you know what? It's coming. I went through a whole bunch of sicknesses in the last like 6-7 months, and now I'm finally starting to feel like I'm back to my 2018 or 2018 self. Cahyani, good for you though. You know, like you're always studying. You're pretty much in every single class, aren't you? Like you try to attend just about every class, right?
Yes, because your class it is very comfortable instead of paying lots of the million of rupiah in the real courses, in the actual courses in my country.
Yeah, definitely. We try to make it just a lot more accessible, and I think technology is really allowing us to do that. So it's great. Cahyani, thanks for sharing that. And we'll get into some of these questions, and I will assess your English. Are you ready for a few questions on speaking part 3?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. And then let's talk about visiting nature and cities. What is the most beautiful natural place that you have visited?
One of the most wonderful natural place that I have visited before it is crater because it is provided the fresh atmosphere and also the view it is really beautiful. In fact, when it is the summer holiday in 2019, I have visited the highest crater in Indonesia that is situated in East Java. That was an incredible view that I have seen before.
What is the most beautiful urban landscape that you have visited?
Last question. I think the most urban area that I have visited before it is Magelang city that located in the central Java, as it is surrounded by the mountainous area. I have visited this when since I was in the childhood, and it is very pleasant and comfortable. As the Magelang city, it got the title of the most cleanest cities in Indonesia. If I have a chance to visit it again, I would like to go with my nuclear family.
Where do you like to go more? Into nature or to a city? And why?
Mm, okay, that's a tough question. I would like to spend more in the nature as it is fresh that I mentioned before, and it is very far away from the city crowdness. Instead, I can indulge and also unwind after I taking of the assignment and also some of the exam from my university.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. All right. Okay, let's go step by step here. Yanni, nice. You're practicing and you're reviewing, and I can tell because with the first question, when I asked you what is the most beautiful natural place that you have visited, you talked about the craters that are in Indonesia in and around Jafar, right?
Yes, Java.
Jaffa. And I know you have talked about that before.
Yes.
And it was hard for me to understand what you were talking about because you didn't have practice talking about these craters. You were using their local names, and it was a bit confusing. I remembered that. So I have kind of have this interesting memory where I can really hold certain kinds of information in my head. And I can tell that after that lesson, which was a few weeks, or I would say a few months ago now, right?
Yeah, roughly a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago, right? And you listened to my advice, and I bet that after that class, you were thinking, okay, if I meet with somebody who's not from Indonesia, I need to be able to talk about this a little bit clearer so they can understand, because it's an important feature of the landscape. It's a famous place here, so I need to make sure that if I'm talking to somebody like Adrian from Canada, or somebody from Germany, then they know what I'm talking about, right? I guess you were kind of feeling that, right?
Yes.
And you did a really good job. So you said one of the most wonderful natural places. So again, little grammatical mistakes, but your grammar's including, because one of the many. It's always one of the many. So one of the most wonderful natural places. Can you just repeat after me? One of the most wonderful natural places.
One of the most wonderful natural places.
that I have visited before is a crater.
That I have visited before is a crater.
Okay. And then you said the view is very beautiful, and you said I have visited the highest crater in Indonesia, located in West Java. So you did a really good job answering that question. That question alone, I think, was easily like a band 7.58 level answer, which was great. And then I asked you about the urban area. I didn't have a chance to write that down, so we'll forego that response, but I thought your answer was all right. And then I asked you, where do you like going more, into nature or to a city? And you were very nice and natural. You said, okay, that's a tough question. So you bought yourself a little bit of time there. When you tell the examiner, and this is important, everybody, okay, so that's a tough question, or that's an interesting question, is a common leading expression. And it is used correctly for several questions, especially in part 3, where some questions can really be tough questions or interesting questions. So you can use that correctly. Remember to explain why it's a tough question or why it's an interesting question, especially if it makes sense, Cahyani. Okay, so here, why is that a tough question for you? So if I ask you if you like going to nature or the city more, why is that a tough question for you?
Because both of them, it is the hard decision.
Yeah, because you like both, right?
Yeah, because I'm comfy with the both of the places.
Yeah, so tell me that. So finish that idea, right? So you want to say, okay, that's a tough question because I really do enjoy both. Okay, so everybody, not just Cahyani, repeat after me. This is a very typical kind of situation, and it's a very good one to practice. So here we want to show the examiner that I'm not just using a catchy phrase to buy myself time, but actually I'm using this genuinely, and I'm giving reason for why I'm using it, right? So here's the better way to complete this idea. Okay, that's a tough question because I really do enjoy both kinds of places for their own merits. Try that, Cahyani.
Okay, that's a tough question because I really do enjoy both kinds of places for their own merits.
Right? Like they're both for their advantages, both merits. Yeah. And then that makes it clear for me, like, why you're thinking about it for a second, right? No, you're not just saying that's a tough question, but you're actually telling me why. I can guess that's why, but you don't want the examiner guessing your thoughts. You want to give the thoughts to the examiner. Does that make sense, Cahyani?
Maybe the examiner would like to confuse why this is tough question.
Yeah, they're not sure, right? And then sometimes they'll think, oh, you watched a YouTube video that tells you to say this, right? But now if you say, well, because I kind of enjoy both cities and natural places, then it's clear, like, okay, yeah, a lot of people do, I guess. So, you have to think about that. So it makes more sense. It becomes more sensible. And then here, if I want to be even more sensible and natural, I would probably say something like, but if I had to choose. And again, it's a catchy one, but it makes sense in this context. So, but if I had to choose, I would love to spend more time in nature. And then here you can simplify because I have a very stressful job as a nurse, and it's just nice to escape the pressures of city life. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to say this answer and then just copy. Everybody can kind of copy here with me. So, okay, that's a tough question because I really do enjoy both kinds of places for their own merits. But if I had to choose, I would love to spend more time in nature because I have a very stressful job as a nurse, and it's just nice to escape the pressures of city life. Cahyani, where do you like going more, into nature or to a city, and why?
Okay, that's a tough question because I really do enjoy both kinds of places for their own merits. But if I had to choose one, I would love to spend more time in nature because I have a very stressful job as a student, and it is just nice to escape from the hustle and bustle of city.
Okay, now you replace nurse with student, right?
Yes.
Okay, That's a mistake. Why?
Because student is not a job.
Right, coherence, right? So you got to be careful. If you don't want to say nurse, that's fine, but at least pick another stressful job as a doctor, as a lawyer, okay, as a politician. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that it makes sense. Okay. I have a very stressful, if you want to use student, what should you use instead of job?
Stressful studies.
You don't want to use studies with student. It's awkward.
Oh.
Try to be a little bit more general. Stressful life. Okay.
Stressful life.
So I have a very stressful life as a graduate student. And it's just nice to escape the pressures of city life. Okay. So always check for that coherence and accuracy. Okay, Cahyani?
Okay, sir.
All right.
And sometimes, yes, sir.
Keep going. No. Tell me. Finish.
Yes, sometimes I use the incoherent words that I hear from the YouTube, like in the public speaking, and I jot it down and I use it as well in the speaking.
Yeah, and feedback, right? The concept is feedback. You just want feedback. Make sure that it's the correct word in the correct context. So lots of feedback, lots of review, revise. Okay, Cahyani. Otherwise, good. You're on the right track. I know it's you're at a high band. Like your band level is 6.5, 7, 7.5, depending on your accuracy sometimes. So definitely in that 6.5 to 7.5 range. And I know that for a lot of people who are in that range, they often feel like they're not improving. Do you ever feel that way, Chani, where you're like, I feel like I'm not improving?
Yes, sometimes I feel that.
Yeah, it's a very common feeling at the intermediate to upper intermediate level of English. There are certain kind of stages in language learning where you just have to be a bit more patient and just keep going. But here's the good news, Chani. You want to hear the good news, Chani, and then you can be a little bit happier even though you're under the weather? Yes?
Yes, fire away.
Fire away? Good. See, there's a point in case. The good news is that you are improving. There's just no way that you're not improving. For instance, you're learning new vocabulary, like fire away. So you are improving. You just have to be patient, and then the reward will be yours, and it will be very sweet. So keep going, okay?
Okay, sir. I keep that in mind.
All right, good. Cahyani, have an awesome rest of your day. Get some good rest, lots of fluids, lots of vitamins, okay?
Yes, thank you, Adrian. See you next time.
Bye, Cahyani.
Bye.
All right. Thumbs up to Cahyani. AJ, yeah, 5.5. Again, it's one of those places where it's easy to get stuck. It's between the pre-fluent to fluent English, AJ. But you'll get there. All right, Kulwinder. We haven't heard from you in a while. Kulwinder, are you ready? Hopefully. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, it was a good presentation by Cahyani. It was really good. Okay. Kulwinder, if you're there, let me know. Give me a sign. I have to refresh my page here. Just give me a second. So I just did a shift refresh, and maybe I'll have to restart that page. So if you get disconnected or if the WebSocket closes, sometimes you have to kind of just refresh and try to get back to that page. I don't know what's going on there for me. It's not wanting to cooperate. Here, let me do something. Just give me a second, everyone. I'm going to do a manual reset here. Everybody's going to have to rejoin here. Going into the back end of it all. All right. Back into my student account, back into the student partner speaking, and boom, there we all are, right? You can fix it. Okay, so Pawan, Shaima, Golda, Puang, Kulwinder, you're all back in here. Kulwinder, let me send you a message. Okay, are you ready? Yeah, you work around the issues if you see them, if you have them. Some are local, some are general. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Kulwinder.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am doing great. It's been quite a while since I've heard your voice. How have you been?
I'm doing great, sir.
All right. Kulwinder, have you taken the IELTS exam since we spoke?
Sir, I have given the exam 2 times. It was in 2015.
Okay, a while ago. And you're going to take it again?
Yes.
All right.
Previously, I sit in general IELTS exam. Now I'm preparing for academic IELTS.
I see, I see. Why did you switch?
Now I'm preparing to move to another country on immigration basis. For that, I need academic IELTS.
Okay. Kulwinder, are you listening to me through YouTube or through the website?
I'm your premium student, sir.
I know. I think you might be listening to me through YouTube, though. Make sure you mute YouTube. So turn the volume off of YouTube and make sure that you're using the microphone through the website. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, Kulwinder, let me ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then let's talk about visiting nature and cities. Where do you like going more, into nature or to a city, and why?
I would like to choose natural places because I think natural places are quite near to the nature. I can feel myself in the lap of nature. Apart from this, it will also help me to keep myself away from the stressful life of cities, and also the views that are in natural places are eye captivating. In cities there is always hustle and bustle, so I think natural places are good places to visit. Hello.
I'm here. Just a sec. Please tell me about the advantages and disadvantages tourists have on natural landscapes.
The advantages that tourists can have in these natural places are like they can enjoy these places more, because visiting these type of places they can view some landscapes, mountains which are not easily available in cities and other areas. And another thing is these places they can visit the people who are living there. They can know about their culture and traditions. In this way they can learn about other states or countries cultures. And the disadvantages can be like sometimes they do not know the language of that state or the particular place that they are visiting, so it might be difficult for them to communicate with the people who are living in these places.
How do you think these can be managed?
Sorry.
How do you think that these can be managed?
These can be.
Managed.
Yes, I think these can be easily managed if the tourists who are visiting these type of places, if they learn about these places from YouTube or other type of uh, they can search these type of areas with the help of YouTube, and they can also search from Google where they are going to visit. In like this they can communicate with these people and they can learn their language also. They can also learn the other attractive places that they can visit. So I think these are the some of the points that they should uh, go through before visiting these places.
Okay, I'm going to stop there and give you some feedback. Kulwinder, first of all, you have a lovely pronunciation. So very easy to listen to your words, the way that you pronounce them. I would say easily a band 9. Okay, I can understand them. I think for the most part, your grammar is quite accurate as well. So your grammar accuracy is about a 7 to 8. Your lexical resource is about a 7. So you're using some good words, but you're not giving me enough detail for me to really know the range of words that you're able to use. Okay. And your coherence, which in a big way is your content, like what you're including, I think that's what's pulling your score the most. You have one kind of key missing element that would help you with these questions a lot. I wonder if anyone can help and tell us what's really missing from Kulwinder's answers here. A couple of times I felt it. I'm like, I really wish you did this, because then I could give you a better score and it would just be a lot clearer for me. Anybody know what I'm thinking? So Kulwinder, do you know what I'm thinking? Do you know what I feel like is missing from your answers? I think, yeah, some of your classmates are saying the same. I think we several of us felt it.
I think ideas.
Yeah, do you see AJ, Fuang, Amra, Angel, Mensage, Cahyani? They're all saying the same, and it was the same for me as well. The examples. Like I felt like we're really missing the example that could show us what you mean. Like you talked quite a bit about going to these natural places and maybe not understanding the local culture or the local people. And I several times in my head I was like what, or like who, like what kind of a place are you thinking about, right? Did you have a place in your head when you were thinking about this? Like, were you thinking about a specific location?
Yes, I was thinking about visiting a place that is Shimla. It is a hill station in India.
See, so it was there, and I think your listeners could feel that. Like I could feel it, and I think your classmates could feel it, that you actually had the example in your head, but you weren't saying it. And for the listener, that's awkward, right? Because we're like, oh, I'm sure you're thinking something, but we can't see inside of your head. I was thinking maybe like the Sherpas in Nepal, for example, or in the Himalayan regions, right? In the Ladakh region of northern India, right? So that could be another really good example of a natural place with a very unique culture. And when people go there, if they don't know the culture or the people, it could be very confusing of how to behave and what to do. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So those would really help. So here, let me do this one more time. So careful not to speak too much. Just really focus on answer, explanation, and then give the example. Okay. So,
Okay, sir.
So please tell me about the advantages and disadvantages tourists have on natural landscapes.
The advantages that students can, the tourists can have from visiting such natural places is like they can meet different type of people who are living there, and they can learn from them like about their culture and traditions. And the disadvantages can be if they have not visited these type of places earlier, it might be difficult for them to communicate with the people who are living there. I would like to give an example. Like 2 years ago, I visited Shimla. I had not searched much about the place, and I found very difficult to communicate the people because their language was quite different from my language.
Okay, stop there,
So
and stop there, stop there, and stop there. That's it. Okay, so don't overspeak. So your example was good. Okay, as soon as we had that example, that was great. Now, when you include the example, don't say, I would like to give an example. For example, the examiner gets scared. They think that you're going to talk forever. And in part 3, they usually don't like to hear too many personal examples. So they'll interrupt you and they'll just jump to the next question. They'll go, how do you think these can be managed? And you'll be like, why are you interrupting me? I'm just giving you an example, right? So the trick or the tip, Kulwinder, is to make the example really smooth. Okay, so the way to make it really smooth is to say, like, one of the disadvantages is that people can feel awkward if they don't know the local culture, customs, and language. Like when I went to the Ladakh region of northern India, to the Himalayas, and I had no idea about the Sherpas other than what I saw on TV, and I got into some very awkward communication and cultural situations. I didn't even know how to say thank you. See how it's just a very smooth, quick example, right? So no introducing the example, no talking more and more, just quick and to the point. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, give me, Kulwinder, give me your example one more time, but just do it really smoothly. So let me just simplify the question. What are the disadvantages tourists can have in these natural places?
The disadvantages that tourists can have by visiting such places, if they are not sure about the spoken language about that place, so they may find it difficult to communicate the people who are living there. Like last year, I visited Shimla. I was not familiar with the language, so I was not able to communicate with the people who are living there. So another disadvantage
Nope,
is
and
like
that's it. Nope, you have to be able to stop. You have to be able to stop. As soon as you say so another disadvantage, the examiner is interrupting you. Okay? So when you finish the idea, stop. And when you stop there, Kulwinder, you just went from a band like 7 all the way up to a band 8.5 with your answer. Okay? So during this short session that we're having, you're moving half a band with each of your iterations, with each of the changes that you're implementing. Your band is going up, up, and up. And I'm sure that a lot of the people watching right now can feel it. They're like, oh yeah, that first one was okay. The second one was better. Now with this smooth answer, explanation, example, it's just really clear communication. And then if she stops, it's like, okay, got it. Let's go to the next question. Does that make sense?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, just a sec, Kulwinder.
Okay.
So I just
Is
wanted
my
to summarize what I'm saying. So one
okay, sir.
quick smooth example. Okay, one quick smooth example. All right, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, go ahead, Kulwinder. What's the question?
Okay, sir, I want to ask, like, if I am is my voice monotonous throughout the
No.
answer, or
No, I don't find you too monotoned at all. No, I feel like you have some decent intonation. Absolutely. You can always give a little bit of extra. Most of us can. So a little bit more melodrama, a little bit more intonation. But no, I don't find you monotone. I find that there's quite a nice rhythm and intonation, enunciation to your phrasing. So no, it's okay.
okay, sir. Sir, I need 7 bands in speaking. Previously, I got 6.5.
I think
I'm
you can.
trying to.
So make this change. When you make this change that we just talked about with these smooth examples, that's definitely the difference. So if you had a 6.5 for the previous answer where it just kind of seemed like there was missing information, when you include that missing information, that smooth example, you make it concise, you will get a band 7. In fact, I think you can even get a 7.5. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. For sure, your vocabulary and your grammar is good enough for a 7.75. So for you, Kulwinder, it's all about the content. Make sure you have the right content. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Bye, Kulwinder. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
You're
help.
welcome. Thank you for being a premium student. Bye, Kulwinder.
Bye, sir.
All right. That was Kulwinder. It was really good. She deserves a thumbs up. Really studious, hardworking, pleasant person for sure. Mensage says nice. Now the question was a little bit different. I don't know if any of you caught that. It was, what advantages, disadvantages do tourists have on natural places? We could interpret it the way that Kulwinder answered, but it's more about like, throwing away garbage, littering, pollution, or bringing economy and restoration to certain places. So a little bit different. Paromita, I believe you are a new member or a new person, so let's see if you are still here. Are you ready? Okay. And again, remember, viewers, that the advice I just gave to Parwinder is advice for many of us, right? Those smooth examples often are left out by many students and viewers, and they really are missing at times. And if you're worried about personal examples, if you're like, oh well, personal examples, then make it a non-personal example, like when people visit the Ladakh region in India, right? So make it a non-personal example. All right, Paromita. Hi, Paromita. I hear that you picked
Hello,
up.
sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you. Where are you?
I am talking from Bangladesh.
From Bangladesh. Awesome. Whereabouts in
Yes.
Bangladesh are you?
I am in the capital city of the Bangladesh, which is called Dhaka.
Aha. All right. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I want to pursue my higher studies from foreign country. For this reason, it's a major requirement for me.
Okay. May I ask one more? What country and what major? I know that was two questions, but I'm curious. What country and what major?
My major is on biomedical engineering, and I want to go to USA and Canada or
Okay.
Canada.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can go to both. We're neighbors. So if you're in Toronto, it's not a big trip to go to New York, or if you're in Vancouver, it's not too hard to go to Seattle. So you can do both. All right. Well, that's great. Biomedical engineering. Wow. Okay. You must be smart. All right. Okay. Let me ask you some questions about visiting nature and visiting cities. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay. What are some of the most popular activities when visiting a city?
When visiting a city, there are numerous activities that a people can do. Like in cities, there are different parks and restaurants where people spend their time with their family members. Um, Again, in cities, mm, they can visit. They can visit different historical places and can learn about those places, which will improve to increase their knowledge.
Have these changed for people of the past generation?
Yes, in past, those cities are not developed like now, and obviously there is a development of technological applications in all sectors, like those cities, and also there is a change in healthcare systems. There is a change in entertainment sectors. Like in previous, different type of entertainment sectors are not so developed, but nowadays these things has improved a lot.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at that. All right. First of all, you have good English. All right. Solid English. And you're in the right place, okay? Because I definitely think that you have good English, but you need to practice these IELTS questions. You need to practice some strategies to make sure that you're getting the best score for your English. I don't think that's happening right now. Like, I think right now your score is like a band 6. You're fluent, but it's not considered good English. You're making some awkward mistakes. You're creating some awkward phrases. And I do think that with your English, you should be getting at least a 7. Okay, and I know that in your field of biomedical engineering, graduate studies, US, Canada, you want to get at least a 7 for your speaking score.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think you can get that. I think you can. I think you just have to practice. I also, I can feel that you're a little bit nervous, which is Totally okay. That's why you're here, to, get confident, right?
Yes, sir. I will try to be confident.
Yeah, and this is, practice makes confidence, and you're doing that right now, so that's good. Okay. When we're nervous, it's so easy to forget what we just learned. Okay. What did we just learn from Kulwinder?
To give example.
Did you give me an example?
No, sir.
No, you did not.
No.
Right. All right. That's what I mean. That's, unfortunately, that's one of the big negative side effects of anxiety, of being nervous, is we literally forget what we're supposed to do, right? So that's one of the big reasons we want to be calm, confident, so that we remember what we need to do. And it happens. It happens. Like, we'll literally forget what we need to do 1 minute later. So that's totally okay. What are some of the most popular activities when visiting a city? I mean, there's just so many good examples for that. And you said, well, when visiting a city, first of all, I loved how you used the question. That was really good. That's a good strategy. So when visiting a city, and your answer was, when visiting a city. Great. It's a great way to start. There are numerous activities that people can do. Like in the cities, there are different parks and restaurants. Immediately, and then you said where people spend their time with family members. So what is the park called in your city? Any big park?
Like, there is a children park where children can play with different rides.
Okay, like the children's park next to my home. Immediately, right? It's just so much better. And they can visit different historical places. What's a historical place that I can visit in your city?
Historical places, like there are old palace where anyone can spend quality time.
Sorry, the capital of Bangladesh is, can you remind me one more time?
Dhaka.
Dhaka?
Yes, Dhaka.
Yeah, it's a shame I don't know it. I should learn it. I'm going to remember it.
No,
Different historical places, like the old palace in Dhaka. I believe it's like that, is it? Dhaka. Okay. It's a tricky one. Thank you, Tanvir. Dhaka. Like that. Okay. All right. Like that. All right. So that will make it nice and quick, and that makes your brain kind of more collected and structured as well. Okay. So that was good. Different kinds of entertainment that didn't exist before. What would be a type of entertainment that people go and visit in cities these days that they didn't have before due to technology?
Such as museum which shows holographic.
Sure. Now you're being really complicated. You can keep it simpler. 3D theaters. Okay, so just simplify it, right? So obviously there are developments in technology in cities, especially for entertainment, like 3D theaters, 3D movie theaters. Okay, can you just repeat after me? Obviously, there are developments in technology in the cities for entertainment, like 3D movie theaters. Just repeat. Are you still there?
Yes, sir. I'm
Yep.
still there.
Okay.
Can you please
Yeah, I'll say it one more time.
tell me one more time?
Yeah. Obviously, there are developments in technology in these cities for entertainment, like going to 3D movie theaters.
Obviously, there are developments of technology in those cities, like 3D movie theaters.
Good. Yeah. So just those smooth examples, right? Visualize, see yourself in your city, see yourself visiting those places, and then you're good. Yep. Or modern displays in the museums, for sure, like you said. Okay. So I think overall you're doing really well. Just really pay attention to content. Okay. So this is important advice for everybody. The fastest way to increase your IELTS score is to maximize the English that you have already. Okay, so if you've already done that, like if you're giving the best information with the English that you have, then you want to learn more English, like more vocabulary, more grammar. But before that, you always want to just maximize with the English that you have. And I think that with the English that you currently have, you should easily be able to move up into that band 7 range. Okay, Paromita?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay, so maximize that English and keep coming back and practicing and building that confidence, okay?
Okay, sir, I will do it. Thank you.
Okay, good luck with your studies, Paramita, and we'll see you doing biomedical, did you say biomedical engineering?
Thanks for your wishes.
Bye, Paramita.
Okay, bye.
All right, that was Paramita. Quite good, indeed. Windi, I think you were really ambitious. You tried to call me, but Windi, let's see if you're ready now. Are you ready? It's not Wendy, it's Windi. Okay. Interesting. Windi, if you're there, let me know. Or if you're still there, if you waited. Hopefully you did. Okay. Again, students, just volunteer by going to the website, clicking on Student Partner Speaking. Okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm great, thank you. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Windi?
Yeah, it's windy. It's like the weather with a lot of wind.
Yeah, just spelled differently, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was guessing. I instead of a Y. And that's your actual name, or is that a nickname?
No, that's my real name.
Oh, cool. It's a cool name. I like it. All right. And where are you from?
I'm from Indonesia.
From Indonesia. People in Indonesia just have the coolest names. What do you guys have, like a baby book of cool names or something going on there? Cahyani, Windi, and just fantastic names. So lovely to say. And what part of Indonesia?
I live in West Java province. It's in city called Cirebon, and it's also well known for the Megamendung batik patterns. So we all know that Indonesia has a lot of batik motif. So one of the famous one, that's batik Megamendung, which is from my city.
Cool. I think you're actually not that far from Cahyani. I think she's somewhere relatively near where you are. All right. And Windi, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I'm planning to pursuing my master degree in a foreign country like Japan. So I will take an IELTS test for the specific kind of academic level.
Okay, Windi, the line's a little bit choppy. I mean, I can hear you, and it's okay. We'll do our best here, but it's just so you know, it's a little bit choppy. I'm not sure if you can maybe adjust a bit so it's a little bit more stable. But Japan, yeah, I lived in Japan for a year. I lived in Osaka. Japan is amazing. I speak a bit of Japanese as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Japan is an incredible country, so that's great. Okay, well, let me give you a bit of help here. We'll go through some questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. What are some of the most popular cities for tourism in your country?
Oh, I would say there's a lot of places that we could enjoy in Indonesia, but I think the most favorite one is Yogyakarta, because in Yogyakarta there's a lot of historical places, and even the scenery, the view itself is very beautiful. And if we considering the Yogyakarta city as the former capital city for Indonesia.
How about the world? Windi, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. How about the world?
The world. Well, I think that's really a lot, a numerous amount of places in around the world that really beautiful and interesting. Maybe recently the most popular country that tourists would prefer traveling there is South Korea because of the Korean wave that really goes everywhere, really widespread in around the world, and people would like to experience the real vibes, the real situation that they always looks in Korean drama. So I think Korean is one of preferable country for tourism sector. Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you a bit of feedback. Okay. So you have some good English for sure. Again, it's content, so it's cliche, but content is king. So when you have good content, even with lower English, you can get a high band score. If you have bad content, even with higher English, you get a lower score. So the trick is to have good English, good content, and you get those really high scores like band 7, 8, 9. So here again, I felt your answers were okay, but there was just like a missing element here to make these answers great. And I wonder if anybody picked up on what that is. So what do you think that is? Windi and viewers, what do you think is kind of missing from Windi's answers here to make them good answers? There was definitely a piece missing here. It was like, what's going on? Where is this? Why don't we have this? Pima says example. I don't think the example was missing because you were specific. Like you said, Jakarta and Korea was kind of an example of sorts as well. So it wasn't really the example this time. Windi, do you know what it was? Do you know what was missing?
My vocabulary range.
No, your vocabulary I think is fine. It's the content that's missing. So let me ask you this first question again. Let's dissect it. Let's take it apart. So the question is, what are some of the most popular cities for tourism in your country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Fuang has the right answer, by the way, in the chat. So how many cities did you talk about?
Several.
No. What were the several?
There's so many.
I know, but you only said one. You only talked about Jakarta, right? Like you only mentioned Jakarta. You said there was lots of places, but then you just said Jakarta, right? So ideally here, so if I'm asking you this question, and if we were able to, it's not an IELTS exam, but I can just have a chat with you about it, I would say, oh, okay, yes, I've heard of Jakarta, and I know it's, you know, the former capital, and it's a very historic city, and that's great. So that's a good answer. What other cities are, you know, famous in Indonesia? So I would say talk about at least 2 to 3 cities just quickly here, right? Because the question is saying, what are some of the most popular cities? If you say, I would say there are a lot of places, that doesn't cover the answer. That's just kind of a general like bubble. The only answer you're really giving me here is the most favorite is Jakarta. So it's like, okay, that's 1. Now give me 2 and 3 and we're good, right? Try to answer this again and give me the name of 3 cities in Indonesia that are popular for tourists. Jakarta can be one of them. Okay, so let me ask you one more time. Just list 3 cities and just give me a very quick idea of why they're popular. So what are some of the most popular cities for tourism in your country?
Well, actually, there's a lot of city in Indonesia that could be a travel destination, such as Jakarta, which is the capital city of Indonesia, and Yogyakarta, which is a former capital city of Indonesia before, and then the most the the most famous one is Bali, and the three of them have different kind of vibes and also different kind of experience that you could have, such as in Jakarta, where is a lot of building and also modern facility, and in Yogyakarta you could experience the historical palace and also with the natural views, and in Bali you could enjoy the beach of Bali, which is very famous in the tourists.
Awesome. Okay, that answer was way better. All right. So you can feel it, right? Like, did you feel how that was a much better answer to this question?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I feel it.
You know it. So when we upgrade our question and we realize, like, okay, what I said before was maybe like a band 6, now what I'm saying is for sure a band 7. We don't even need the examiner to tell us that there's a difference. We know there's a difference. We can feel that one band difference in our answer. We can be like, oh yeah, that was just a much better answer. So what you said there was way better. Now all you need to do is take that answer and just make it more concise, right? So this city is interesting for history, this city is interesting for modern technology, and finally the island and the city or town of Bali is amazing for the beautiful beaches. And then that's it, and you're done, and you've named 2-3 cities that are amazing places to visit in Indonesia, and it answers the question accurately, right? Okay, and then I say, how about the world, right? And you can say, well, certainly there are lots of famous cities to visit around the world, including Tokyo, Paris, New York. Perhaps one of the most visited cities in the world today is, or places, is Dubai, in the Emirates, of course, with the impressive Burj Khalifa, right? So quick, clear answer. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So focus on that content. Again, it's kind of the same concept as I mentioned previously, to maximize your score with the English that you have. So instead of, like I said to you, what's missing? And you said vocabulary. No, I think your vocabulary is fine. I mean, look how well you were just able to talk about those 3 cities. It's not the vocabulary, it's the content, right? So maximize your score with the English that you have. Does that make sense, Windi?
Yes. So we need to explain more than one for the example.
Well, yeah, especially because that's what the question's asking. Like, it says, what are some of the most popular cities in your country for tourists, right? So I'm literally asking you for a few cities in your country that tourists like to visit, right? So if you ask me, like, you ask me the same question. Windi, ask me the same question. So ask me this question here. What are some of the most popular cities for tourism in your country?
Where's the most favorite place for tourists in your country?
Okay, not place, right? It's cities. So you have to really pay attention. So ask me the exact question one more time.
What is the most famous city in your country?
Not city. So this is, okay, so here's where we really have to pay attention, right? It's most popular cities. It's a plural. And they help you because they say some of the most popular cities. So I want you to ask me the exact same question. Go for it.
Okay. What is the most favorite cities in your country?
In Canada, arguably the most popular cities for tourists to visit are Montreal and Toronto on the East Coast along the Atlantic, and probably Vancouver and Victoria along the West Coast. These cities offer both natural and historical beauty. Montreal is the francophone or French-speaking sector of Canada. Toronto, Vancouver, Victoria are more British, English-speaking, and these are big cities numbering millions in population. They offer a lot of different activities for food, culture, for tourists to do and partake in. Okay, so that would be Canada, all right?
Yes.
Montreal,
so we
Toronto,
do
Vancouver,
comparison
Victoria.
between.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we do comparison between the country. I mean the cities that we explain.
Yeah, we just described them a little bit, but the goal here mostly is to answer the question, right? Most popular cities. So Millions of tourists visit these cities each year, right? And I'm giving 2-3 cities. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so make sure to practice that. And one way to do that is, Windi, when you're doing practice with partners, talk about the questions after. So you know the website now. Use this website with other students. So talk to Paromita, talk to Phuong, talk to Kulwinder. Ask each other questions. You can find questions, by the way, on the website here as well. And there's lots of them, okay? And then when you give your answer, get feedback. You know, like ask Phuong, say, Phuong, do you think I answered that question well? Was there anything missing? And then Phuong might say, well, yeah, I kind of thought that, you know, you should talk about more than just one city, because I was asking you, like, you know, if there's more than one city, right? And so you can kind of discover how your listener is hearing what you're saying. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Windi, thank you so much. I think that you will do great. Just really practice accuracy for the answers, the content, okay?
Yes. Thank you, sir, for the feedbacks.
You're very, very welcome. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye, Windi.
Bye, sir.
All right, let's give Windi a thumbs up. That was really good. Phuong gave a thumbs up. Phuong, thanks for letting me use you as an example. Okay. All right, students, that's it for today. I'm going to leave you on those notes. I think those are some valuable notes to end on. Again, the website is aehelp.com, and you can join the premium version of the course, which is really a good idea, especially if you're in these live classes regularly, by clicking these big red buttons. And I want to leave you on these ideas of focusing on content, really focusing on the questions that you're being asked. A lot of candidates in the IELTS think they're losing English because of their vocabulary or their pronunciation, but it's not. A lot of students are losing marks because their answers aren't making enough sense. They're not answering the questions accurately. So make sure that first and foremost, your answers are accurate, and then focus on vocabulary and pronunciation and such, okay? Amra, thank you for moderating the class. That was really great. I hope that I see all of you on Thursday. We'll have much, much more coming this week. I'll be posting the new schedule in the next few hours, and visit again aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com, where we've got lots and lots of videos and lots of help for you. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria, and I hope that all of you have a great rest of your weekend. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world right now. Bye, everybody.